Seems
Yeah, but
cool.
also like it's also like a vast array of information. So we have like a lot of planes in our fleet.
Uh-huh.
So you have to learn every single plane, all the seats, how fast it goes, this, that, and the other, where the equipment is, everything for every single aircraft we have in our entire fleet.
What's like
And also, something that people don't realize is that some days we're in the classroom and we're learning that information. We're doing infographics, different ways of learning the information. Some days we're doing survivalist techniques. Some days we're in a pool pulling people onto a raft. It is, yeah. Here and there, they have really cool aircraft that are on hydraulics.
Yeah.
So you get inside and it's actually like shaking you, and in like an emergency situation, like
a
going on in the plane. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you have to react, and like you're like, you're in an aircraft.
Play me some pimping, man.
This the coldest podcast you'll ever hear. The way we coming with it, people witnessing greatness. Be a part of the journey. I would say it's perfect timing, but it's God's timing. We locked in a time capsule with this one. We got timeless topics. Guess what? I'm your mother's favorite host. Your little brother's OG. I go by the name of Armand Lindsay, but the neighborhood call me Big Pig. I want to welcome y'all to Big Boss Talk, Season 2, The Rebirth. Let's ride, and welcome to a Black Man Thing.
What's poppin', everybody, man? It's another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast. Y'all know how we like to do. I got another recommendation, solid recommendation. She's not somebody I didn't know. I probably don't know her as well as other people, but I do know her just with my time, coming to USC, spending time with all 29 of the Flames. Just getting to know those guys was pretty awesome. But I couldn't be more grateful to have her on the show because she's going to give us a totally different perspective than what I'm used to. And once we get into what she actually does, I think it's a pretty neat and cool career. We run into them often. If you're a traveler, they're probably some of them are the most nicest people you'll know. You'll have great conversations with them. I'm just worried about how they focus on like their social life, everything that they got going on by being, in the air, almost 20 to 30 something thousand feet in the air. So let me let y'all know, I got Sydney Key, age 26. Her career is she's a flight attendant. All right, college and degree. She got her bachelor's of arts, major in media arts, minor in applied computing. Did I say that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
That sounds about right.
Years in profession.
Yeah, no.
So she got 4 years in her profession. All right, so she know what she's talking about. She's been doing this for a little minute. But Sydney, say what's up to the podcast for me.
Hi, y'all. I'm Sydney. I'm a flight attendant for a major carrier, and I'm excited to be here today and talk about my career.
Let's go. We love it. So listen, we're going to get Sydney welcome to the show. She told me offline that she was a little nervous. Y'all,
you be telling people that.
Tell her, don't be nervous. She ain't got to be nervous. We ain't going to harm her. So, but listen, we're going to go into Two Truths and a Lie. It wouldn't be Big Boss Talk, the podcast, if we didn't do our Two Truths and a Lie. So, Sydney, I hope you can catch me. I've been falling off lately just because I'm getting the people I don't know. So, it's getting a little harder and harder. So, I feel like this is going to be hard, but we'll see. So, let's hear it.
Okay, so I think it's going to be pretty easy.
Okay,
so my Two Truths and a Lie are all flight attendant based.
Okay.
So, I packed the same exact bag, including outfits, for every single trip. I've been to 3 different countries in the past month.
Okay.
Or I live in South Carolina.
What? Now you kind of threw me off. All right, so we got one is
I packed the same bag.
The same bag every trip.
Every single trip.
Like clothes, everything, the same.
I don't know.
Okay.
Is that the truth?
Okay, nah. We're gonna see. So we got you packed the same bag. The second one was you've been to 3 countries this month.
Within the month.
Within the month.
So like not like in March, but within the past 4 weeks.
Got it. Okay, got it. And then the last one is you live in South Carolina. That's wild. I'm gonna say I don't think you live in South Carolina. Like, I honestly don't think you live in South Carolina, which I think that's the lie. Is that
You think that's the lie?
Yeah, I think because ain't no way.
Okay. I'm gonna give it to you. I do legally live in South Carolina, but I'm never there.
Okay. So
You can most of the time catch me in New York, but that is the lie.
okay, I was about to say because I feel like if you was in South Carolina more, I don't know. I just feel like if you was in South Carolina, I would know it. But
You think?
I feel like I would because I feel like Mariah would have said something like, yeah, me and Sydney going here, or we gonna link up and do something. But I don't hear that, so it's like maybe she's not local. But
Yeah, no, a lot of people have no idea where I live.
That's good.
Because I'm always everywhere. So they're just like, well, where's your apartment? And I do have an apartment in New York, but I legally live in South Carolina, and I'm there a lot more than people realize, but I like to be on the low.
Gotcha.
I like to sneak in, sneak out.
Sneak in, sneak out.
I'd be tired, you know?
Yeah. You don't wanna because you let people know you in town, they'll add on to your calendar. And don't even talk to you. Like when I go home, they be like, I need you to do this. You went to go see this person.
Come see me, come do this. And I can a lot of time. And like I love everybody. I'll come see you when I can. But some trips are just for me to come in, see my mama, and go to sleep. Period.
That's it. We don't need nothing else. We just trying to come get this sleep. All right. Okay. So talk to me about the same bag though. So you pack the same exact bag. We talking about to the socks.
Same exact bag.
To the socks.
Okay. I do change, some things that need to be changed between trips,
Yeah.
But like, as far as like my outfits and things, a lot of people have noticed that at all my Instagrams, I'm wearing the same thing because about once a financial quarter, I'll change my outfit, but I throw the whole thing in the washing machine.
Yeah.
And then take it out and then fold it back up, put it back in my bag.
Wow.
It's like when you're traveling back to back, that's what you got to do.
Wow. So that's one of those flight attendant, do most flight attendants do that, or is it just kind of like you?
I think it might be me being a little lazy.
Okay.
But
it
works.
Listen, I didn't know if that was like a little trick, like be like, look, we here all the time, just kind of keep the same thing, but it's more or less you being lazy. I got it.
Yeah. But the thing is that a lot of people think that we're here and here all the time. We're never here and here. We are everywhere at all times with my company, at least.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. So, okay. And then you've been to 3 countries within 4 weeks. What country have you been to?
I went to France. I went to London. I went back to back. And then I was in the US. That counts.
God, France, London. What's your favorite place to go? Like,
okay. So this is kind of like it's a question that's hard because you go so many places.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own things,
Yeah.
But my favorite place I've been to thus far for work is India, but for pleasure, like with my benefits and things, is Turkey.
Okay, Turkey. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so why Turkey? You said with your benefits and things. Like what? Like what's the benefit? Like what you like about Turkey so much?
It's just different. So a lot of the European countries and France to a certain extent have been globalized.
Okay.
So, you can go to the Duomo or you can go see Big Ben or whatever, but you're right next to Starbucks and McDonald's. You can still go get a McChicken.
Yeah.
But when you're in India or when you're in Turkey or something like that, you have to experience the culture fully.
Yeah.
Like they don't speak your language. They don't have your foods. They don't have what you like. You have to experience it or you won't survive. Wow. You don't have a choice.
That's crazy. When it comes down to the language piece, right? If you don't speak the language, how do you navigate in these foreign countries and
Well, I think it's a safety thing for me to be a mute. I become a mute. I like people to assume that I'm African, which is like, I know something that a lot of people, it's kind of controversial. Like, why don't you want to be a Black woman traveling abroad by yourself? Right. But it's dangerous,
Okay.
So if people assume what they want to assume, then they assume that I live there and I'm a part of the culture. Right. I'm not somebody who's traveling and
they won't try to play you. I know it'd be people.
And they won't try to play you. I know people love to play you.
Yeah, especially when they know you from out of the country. They be like, oh, she gonna spend that money. Let me tell them.
Especially, if you're from the United States.
Yeah, no, you can't get played. I done seen too many African movies. Them boys, you come out they trying to get you.
When I was in Turkey, my friend's husband is Turkish, so he speaks Turkey. But you would go into the place and be like, hey, he said I could buy this. And he'd say, for how much did he say you could buy it for? It was never like a set price.
Right.
So it'd be like, what he say, how much it costs. There was no stickers, no nothing.
Oh yeah, they be finagling. I had a situation like that this weekend. Me and well, it wasn't like to the extreme, but me and Mike was at this vintage flea market. They only come in Houston like once a month, and so I'm in there. I'm like, all right, I found this jersey. I'm like, okay, I like this jersey. Found another jersey. I say, how much is it? He said, by the time I don't think he said nothing. Mike was like, how much you letting it go for? Like, what's the deal? And I'm just like, man, just pay for it and we can go. You know what I'm saying? But she like trying to get the deal. So like with situations like that, when people be trying to con you or you trying to negotiate, like I'll be scared like in a foreign territory. I'm like, man, I don't know what he said. How much it's gonna cost? Like I'm gonna get ripped off. I know it. So that's why I gotta travel with you.
That's the chance. You're gonna get ripped off eventually, one time or another, the whole trip. But
wow.
I don't know.
Okay. That's what's up.
You try to blend in, they let you go sometimes.
We'll see. Well, we gonna that's what's up. I mean, that's a crazy experience like that I didn't know you even like experienced, you know what I'm saying? And just you just trying to blend in with the culture so they don't take advantage of you is kind of one of those, I don't know, that's like a street code almost. It's like you gotta know the rules of when you travel, like how to really maneuver. So that's pretty cool. And hopefully people listening, if you go into India, make sure you try to fit in.
That's a little hard though. That's a little hard to blend in, but you can.
Okay, so look, we're gonna start from the beginning, Kitty. Sydney, I want to know, what did you want to be, growing up? Like, did you always know you wanted to be a flight attendant? Like, when you were growing up, Sydney walking around, like, what did you want to? What were you telling your parents? Like, I'm gonna go to school for this.
I really didn't have a plan. I've always been like a floater. All my friends know it. Like I go where I'm being taken. I don't really fight the wave.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up or when I went to college, I wanted to work as liaison between tech companies and influencers and things and creatives. Okay. So that's why my degree is in media art and my minor is in computer science. Okay. So I could speak the language on both sides.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what changed then? So like if we, obviously you with the vibes, right? You just like good vibes. I'm just going with the flow. And then you get the degree in, media arts and you got the minor in computer science. But where was the disconnect of you actually becoming a liaison to now being a flight attendant? You know what I'm saying? Like what made you say, nah, I want to be a flight attendant?
I mean, I don't know. I think it was the flow. I was sitting at home one day and like people think that, you go to school, you get good grades, you get the job, right? Yeah. And now we all know that ain't true. That ain't it. That's not how it works. So after I graduated, I was sitting at home like, dang, what am I going to do? Don't nobody want me. Right. And so I applied for this on a whim. Okay. This is the only carrier I applied for. It kind of popped up and I was like, oh, I'm going to look over there. And then they called me back. So, I mean, that's where the journey started. It was a surprise to me and everyone.
That's so crazy. Like, do you feel better? Like, because you go with the flow, right? Because a lot of people are sticklers of like, I got a plan. You're more go with the flow. Do you feel like that lessens like anxiety? Do you feel like you can, enjoy life a lot better?
That's not the case. I don't think that's the case, but I do think it makes it easier. Okay. I did kind of go against that life philosophy when I first got this job. Okay. I had a plan because the truth is that I hate New York. And I am trying my hardest to make it back to the South. I'm coming back to the South. I'm coming back, like Beyonce said. Yeah. But I saved up all this money. I worked nonstop. Wow. Like I made more money my first year than the rest of my career. Like every year, I've made less than my first year because I was just so uncomfortable. Yeah. I wanted to get out so badly. So I thought like, I would work real hard, save up a down payment and do all that. And then go back to South Carolina, buy a house. And then COVID hit. Dang. And then I was like, I should have just gone with the flow. I should have got myself an apartment in New York and just tried to fit in. Yeah. But,
so talk to us about COVID, 2020. I mean, that was a rough, still going on, but 2020 was a rough year for a lot of people, being laid off. And I knew a flight attendant and she had just started and then she had got laid off. But luckily, as time went on and things started to open back up, they kind of brought her back in. But what was your experience like being a flight attendant during 2020?
Well, I had a very, I would say, not really unique experience. Everybody had their own thing going on then, but I actually lived with my grandmother in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't be out here going overseas, going to here, there, and the other, and then coming home to her, potentially being exposed because she has pre-existing conditions. Yep. So literally the week of the shutdown, the first one, I stayed at home at my parents' house, and then I came back to work, and then I took a 6-month leave. Okay. So a lot of companies were laying people off. Right. But my company took the format of give people the choice. So like if they can handle it financially, if they, maybe want to be at home more or they like want to, they can take from 3 months, 6 months, or a year off. Okay. So I just took 6 months. That's
a great plan. Like shout out to your job because some people are just like, man, you got
you out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Like but that's scary. Like there's some you know what I'm saying? Most people, like the average person, I ain't gonna say, I don't know. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, right? So for when your employer to say, hey, I can't pay you no more, you gotta go. Yeah. It puts a lot of people in a position of like, oh my God, like how am I gonna survive? So now it's like survive or be eaten. So people are out here doing any and everything just to, collect that next check or get that next dollar.
And you're right. And I think that maybe it was a plan, a God plan or something that I was saving up for this house. Right. Because then I had the cushion to take the 6 months, to not be out here in the streets, being exposed here and there, you know?
That's crazy. I mean, God always work in mysterious ways, they say. So,
mysterious ways, man.
So listen, you was able to save that first month. He knew you was like, she gonna need this money. That first year you worked hard, 2020 hit, and you had your little cushion, and now you're probably getting back on track and just, ready to keep moving forward because it seems like any time now we're not shutting back down. So things are just gradually moving forward. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Tell me about the process of becoming a flight attendant. Talk to we got people out here that they look at flight attendants, they don't know the benefits, they don't know the lifestyle, they don't know some of the downfalls to being a flight attendant. But starting off, what was the interview process like? What was the criteria of you becoming a flight attendant?
So there's not really like any criteria like you need a certain degree or you need certain experiences. Okay. I think our process is very unique at my company because the first thing you do is you take an assessment. Okay. So when I applied, they sent me a test. They said, take this. Gotcha. If you don't make it past that test, you just don't keep it. Try again next time. Yeah. That's it. And then after that, you do a phone interview and you're interviewed by somebody on the staff and they ask you questions. And if they like your answers, then you move on to an in-person interview. Okay. And then you do an in-person interview with so when you arrive, there's a bus full of people who are being interviewed. Yeah. And then you go into a room with like the same amount of people who work there. Yeah. And it's like a little social situation. Right. Where you're talking, you're meeting people, and that's all you're doing for most of the time. And then you break off and you do one-on-one interview for like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then you do like a task-related interview, like where you are showing them how you would put together a cart. But I guess it's supposed to show your reasoning skills. Okay. So they don't give you instructions. And then after that, they decide if they want you or not. It's a pretty tedious process. Wow. And they'll cut you real quick. Wow. If they don't like what you got going on.
Well, shout out to you because, I mean, you made it through all levels and phases of the process. Like, the test I feel like for most people, the test might take them out. But how hard was the test? Like, the first people?
Yeah, well, the thing is that it's not like a right or wrong answer. It's like a what would you do?
Oh, it's one like that. Because it's kind of basically, would you say flight attendant is in the realm of customer service, right?
Oh, yeah, we're definitely customer service. Right. We're also very safety oriented.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was going to say, like, when I think about a flight attendant, the first thing, I never think about customer service, even though customer service is a huge part of what you guys do as far as making sure everyone on the plane is good. Obviously, you hand out the snacks. But I look at you guys as more like safety, right? You guys are there.
Thank you.
You tell us. Yeah, you tell us, hey, put the seatbelt on. You know what I'm saying? And then you show us how to use the mask. And I will say, I don't pay attention. But
now listen.
If we was able to go down and I needed a mask, I don't know where to get it.
Just cover your nose and your mouth, Peanut. The nose and the mouth. Most people don't.
Okay.
Both of them.
Look, I just don't know where to get the mask from. I know where to get the. If we in the water, you gotta go under. You gotta go underneath the seat, and your floaty, your thing.
Your life vest.
Yeah, life vest is under there. So there we go.
You gotta grab it and pull down. That's it.
Talk to me. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So that.
But I appreciate you see us as safety because a lot of people don't, and that's one of the challenges of the job. You know, they see us as people handing out snacks and drinks, and that's it.
Yeah, but even I feel like I mean I can see that because plane crashes and stuff like that don't happen often, right? Mm-hmm. You really don't see it a lot. It has to be a rare situation, and so people get so accustomed to just I'm gonna hop on the plane. They're gonna tell me to put my seatbelt on. Maybe when we get to a nice little pinnacle in the air, they're gonna come back and say, "You want some pretzels or you want some what you want?" What you want to drink, you know what I'm saying? And then they go back to sleep. So people just, I don't know. I always tend to look at everybody, all jobs are important, no matter, what you do. And I think being a flight attendant is super important because I'm in the air. I'm afraid of heights, and I need to know that you know what you're talking about. Is something.
I mean, I can assure you that we all know what we're talking about.
All right.
I can assure you that, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, the way you described that interview process is on some Men in Black type stuff. Like, I don't know if you ever watched Men in Black, but they kind of did the same thing. Like, they went in with a group of people. By the time the interview process was over, it was just Will. He was like, "Hey, what happened to everybody?" But
it's actually harder to get into my company as a flight attendant than it is to get in Harvard.
What?
That's a real fact.
No.
That's a real fact.
No. Yeah, where y'all pulling numbers from?
I don't know. It's a real fact. So many people apply every single year, and even make it to the second, third step is a big deal. People apply 5 and 6 times. A lot of people in my class had these big stories of how they applied 7 times, and this is their final time. They finally made it, and they're just so happy to be here.
And you did it once.
Going with the flow. God's plan. What are you gonna say?
We talking about Black excellence here. Listen, that's dope. Like, I mean, I never heard that statement.
Statistic?
Yeah, or stat, and then also just hearing people's story of like I applied 7 times and now I'm finally getting it, and you just get it the first time. So kudos to you. But tell me about like we got the job. Mm-hmm. What's the training process? How long are you in training? What does that look like?
So you're in training for a month, and it's a very trying and very tedious month. I think you only have like 4 days off the entire month. Oh. And what I tell you, it's like you learn and then you test, and you learn then you test every single day. Oh my and you have to keep above a certain grade point average, because if you don't, you're getting sent home that same day.
You get sent home for real?
At my job, what you get at the end of the interview process is a conditional job offer. And the condition is that you complete training. So if you don't complete training, you don't have the job.
Oh, nice.
They could send you home at any time for just small things like incompliancies, not keeping the right grade point average, being mean, just random stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy. So not only do I have to go through this tedious interviewing process, now I gotta make sure they don't give you like chances. Be like, okay, you missed this time. Do they give you multiple?
Yeah, they give you multiple chances, but it's not in a long period of time. So it's not like we're gonna try again tomorrow. We're gonna try again in 15 minutes. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's how it is. It's literally 4 months straight. It's very trying.
Yo.
Mentally, physically. I mean, I'm telling you, we get up and we have to be to work at 6. We are at the center at 6, and we're leaving when the sun is down.
Wow.
And you you live with everybody, you eat, you sleep with everybody. It's like basic training.
Yeah, like for the military. Like basic training. Y'all definitely, man, I mean, that's cool. I ain't gonna say, like, it sounds very hard. Like, to me, like, I know for me, I'm not, like, I can probably, like, I want to say, like, I guess the stuff you test on, is it a lot of common sense, or is it a lot of stuff it's not common sense? So it's stuff that you don't know. You actually gotta, sit down, read, learn it, and apply it. Okay. I mean, that's cool. I mean, you learn it every day. So, I mean, that seems cool.
Also, like it's also like a vast array of information. So we have like a lot of planes in our fleet. So you have to learn every single plane, all the seats, how fast it goes, this, that, and the other, where the equipment is, everything for every single aircraft we have in our entire fleet.
What's like?
And also, something that people don't realize is that some days we're in the classroom and we're learning that information. We're doing infographics, different ways of learning the information. Some days we're doing survivalist techniques. Some days we're in a pool pulling people onto a raft. It is, yeah. Here and there, they have really cool aircraft that are on hydraulics.
Yeah.
So you get inside and it's actually like shaking you, and in like an emergency situation, like a going on in the plane. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you have to react, and like you're like, you're in in an aircraft.
So, I mean, that sounds cool. Like, I would love to do, like, little simulations and then try to, you know what I'm saying, help people swim. So, hold on. Is knowing how to swim a requirement?
Knowing how to swim is not a requirement. But, I mean, it's helpful.
But if y'all in the pool trying to bring people on a raft, somebody needs to know how to swim.
We were talking about it earlier. You got that handy-dandy life vest.
Okay,
right?
okay. You right. But yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, I like that. But I mean, so that sounds like very fun to me. Like,
I mean, it is fun. It is fun. But the thing is that you still have to get the questions right yourself to do the things right.
Yeah.
So it's fun learning how to use the AEDs and doing all the medical equipment and learning how to diagnose a heart attack versus overdose. Like, that's fun stuff if you're interested, I guess.
Gotcha.
Jumping out of planes, fun stuff. Not in the air.
Oh,
the simulations.
Okay.
No, the simulations. It's fun if you're interested, but if your heart's not in it and your mind's not in it,
it's not it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So listen, y'all listen to Sydney. She said they have a lot of fun at work, but there's a side of professionalism that you have to have to be able to, to be on top. Like, this ain't for play. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no regular customer service job. This is more like you dealing with people's lives, right? And you also in the air. So there's a way of thinking that is, you think differently in the air than you do on land, because there's certain, there's other
factors at play.
Yeah, factors that play. So just pay attention. But if you want to be a flight attendant, listen, I mean, that's what you got to go through. And so we went through the training. Training was about a month. We know a lot of tests, very stimulating. You got to be on your P's and Q's every single day. What do you? And then you talked about the fleet. That's one of the things I want to talk about. You guys got a whole fleet of airplanes. What's by far like your favorite plane to just ride in?
My favorite plane to ride in. Okay, so right now my favorite plane is a 220, and we call it it's a Barbie jet. It's a small plane.
Okay, why you like the Barbie jet?
Because it's small. It's like a little Barbie jet. I don't know. you hold in your hand. Yeah. It doesn't hold many people, but it's one of the newest ones. Okay. And it's outfitted with new technologies. The bathroom has a window.
Wow.
It's spacious. It's altogether just a nice experience to fly in. We actually fly from New York to Texas a lot.
Really?
We don't have many yet. So we take a lot back and forth.
Okay.
To Dallas and to Houston and all that.
That's cool. I mean, me personally, I would have thought that y'all like the bigger. I mean, it's personal preference, but I love riding in the more bigger planes with like. I only rode in them like once though. I don't ride them all the time. And I went from South Carolina to Hawaii, and then on that last stretch, they put us in a big plane where it's like three seats here, 3 seats in the middle, 3 over here. Then they had this big TV kind of like in the front. Like, I mean, it was decked out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like that plane, but to hear you talk about the Barbie,
the Barbie size plane,
the Airbus 220. The wide bodies are a lot of fun, and they have cool things that people don't expect. Like they have crew rest. They have sometimes islands in the back, like in the kitchen, little that you can work at. But in the end of the day, it's a lot of people.
Okay.
And then sometimes they're not as. This one's more fun because it's new. Okay. The Airbus 220 it's new, it's shiny, Yeah. Better technology, more fun to be around sometimes.
Gotcha. So what's the hardest part, one of the hardest things about your job that you do You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about it, like there's a lot of upside to what you do, but then obviously there's downsides and cons to everything. But what's one of the things that you just for you like, ugh, like if we could throw this out, like what's one of those things?
I don't know. Okay, so the thing is that I love people, and a part of the job is loving people and like not exactly being an extrovert, but being able to vibe with a lot of different people at a lot of different times, right? But like I said, sometimes people think that we are just here to serve snacks and serve drinks, and they don't realize that we're safety professionals. We're actually what is it? We're considered frontline employees, like frontline workers. Yeah. So people treat us sometimes a little disrespectful, especially during the pandemic. It's been back and forth with the mask and people trying to make their political statements. And like at the end of the day, no one's right or wrong. It's just what we doing here today. Right. But sometimes it's honestly the disrespect and like not to be wild. And I feel like that's not something people think about, but and it's mentally challenging sometimes. Yeah. When you're just trying to do your job and people are like, oh, well, you said and they said and ma'am, sit down. I can't today. Yeah.
Take your baby and sit down. But customer service, I think after like customer service has always been one of those things that you gotta have a cool head about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because people gonna always test you. People gonna always get on your nerves. But after 2020, it just felt like a different customer service. Just like people didn't respect the customer service workers anymore. Even me, when I was working in retail, I was just like, and I was working with phones, and you can imagine people having issues with their phone not working, and they want to come in and think it's your fault. Like, ma'am, I'm not Samsung, I'm not Apple. I just sell phones. Like, I don't have anything to do with like, your service. So it's when I hear you say like, if anything, it's the customer service piece. It's like I can get that. You know what I'm saying? People just acting a fool. Yeah, and you just be
and so like sometimes it takes a toll on your mental health. Like when all day every day, all you're trying to do is get this thing up in the air safely and get everybody to their destination without a hitch, without any issues. Right. And people are fighting back, and you're just like, oh. I'm just trying to do my job, y'all.
That's it. I didn't make the rules.
But, I didn't make the rules. I'm just here.
So that's one of the one things that you don't like. I always like to get people's perspective on if they could change anything or if it's something that they don't like. Because for the conversations I've been having and the reason kind of I wanted to highlight different people, black people, minorities being successful in so many different careers is because people don't know that they can actually be great at this type of stuff or even just be financially stable with these certain type of jobs. Everything like coming up, it was all about money. Like, how am I going to make money? I want to, I want to be comfortable. But, you don't have to make money. Like, you don't have to be an actor to make big money. You don't have to be a ball player to make big money. You don't have to be an artist to make big money. Yeah. Which are the things that as a culture, we feel like that's what we want to be because that's what a lot of people gravitate to, and that's where a lot of culture comes from. It's from those types of entities, and so for you to to come on here and talk about being a flight attendant and the joy that you have of being a flight attendant, but also the pride that you have because of the things that you had to go through to get to the job or to even become a flight attendant is so awesome to see. And I feel like other people will see it and be like, wow, like that's pretty cool. Like I didn't even know how to, I didn't know I could just be a flight attendant. You know what I'm saying? Like people see it, but it's just like, I can actually do it. And hearing it from you is like, it's going to motivate so many people to be like, man, that's pretty dope. And it could give them a different perspective the next time they hop on a plane and they see a flight attendant. Don't act a fool because they just doing their job. Remember, Sydney said it. So we talked about the bad stuff, but what are some of your highlights of your job outside of, I want to know more or less like the benefits, right? What benefits do you love about being a flight attendant?
So you mean just like with the job or with the benefits?
Let's talk about. Let's do both. I mean, let's just give me all the benefits that you enjoy.
Well, for the job, it's no secret. Everybody knows that I love kids, especially on the aircrafts. Okay. Like people really always complain about babies on the plane. Yeah. I love them. I'm here for them. Like, I feel like kids are so excited about, like, seeing the aircraft. They're so excited about the pilots. They're excited about the snacks.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like a lot of people sometimes get on and they're like, oh, well, I just have to be here so I can get to wherever I'm going. But the kids, they're having an experience. Yeah. They the lights, the bags. They're excited, and I love them so much.
It is about the kids, man.
For me, that's one of the highlights. What else do I like? I like my coworkers.
Okay.
When I tell you that everyone has a different background, like I told you, we don't really have any degree prerequisites, but everyone has a different story.
Wow.
I met this one man. He's an active lawyer. He's also active. Yes, he has his own practice, and he's a flight attendant. One of my colleagues, he was a retired police chief. Wow. Another colleague, she is studying to get her doctorate in policy affairs. And you meet these people just regularly.
That's
like this lady. I was like, I really don't feel good today. I got a stomach ache, and she was like, "Okay, so how are you feeling?" And she does a whole workup.
A whole workup.
And she's a nurse. She's a nurse.
Yeah.
Like. Because you can have a different life with my job. And I don't know if you want to get all into that.
Yeah.
But she's a nurse, and she just told me, oh, this is what's wrong with you. Go take this, and you'll be fine tomorrow. And you know what? I did it, and I was fine the next day.
That's crazy. So you telling me you can be a flight attendant part-time?
It's not really a part-time thing, but regularly I have 14 to 15 days off a month. And that's just standard.
Got it.
So you can get more days off if you play the system. You know?
Yeah. I got you. Cool. Mm-hmm. And then what about the perk? Like, people want to know, do you get...
They want to know what the perks?
Mm-hmm. You know, black people want to know what the perks is. When I worked at Verizon, the first thing I said, what's the discount?
What's the perks, Peanut? Tell me about the perks, okay? My phone is old and crusty, and it ain't working too good.
We'll talk offline.
Okay. But, I mean... Our benefits are the benefits that people talk about, that they're publicized benefits. I travel for free in the United States, and not only with my carrier, but with almost all carriers.
Okay.
So I can fly also international carriers too. Okay. People are always really surprised when I say this. I think it's a fun little fact. When I went to Turkey, it cost me less than a cab from JFK to my apartment.
What?
A 15-hour flight cost me less money than a cab from JFK to my apartment. And that is not a long ride.
That's crazy. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's wild. And also, my parents fly for free. If I had kids, they fly for free. And my partner flies for free.
Okay. Got it. So, has anybody tried to use your free flights? Like, I'm just like your friends. Like, I know you got friends that actually like sit.
Is this you trying to get a free flight for you and Maya?
No. I mean, if you giving it, I'm gonna take it. But I'm asking literally, like, has people like try? Because I just know how we are. Like, we will always be like, Sydney, I can get a flight. And they'll be like,
you got a flight for me today? Yeah, no. So the thing is that I don't make it a practice to give out my flights because it's sometimes a little risky.
Okay.
So when you fly standby, you could just like not make the flight and get stuck wherever you are. Mm-hmm. And then it's kind of becomes my responsibility to get them back home. It's a lot when I'm working in things. And I work a lot. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know.
I got you. That makes sense. Now, I definitely didn't want a free flight, but
I'm just kidding. It was a bad joke.
Nah, it was a good joke.
It was a good joke? Okay.
I'd take a free flight, but I wasn't asking for a free flight. You know what I'm saying?
But, okay, cool. So that's some of the perks. And then I want to just ask you, where do you see yourself in, 4 to 5 years? I know you will go with the flow. I don't know if you thought that far, but just 4 to 5 years, where do you see yourself? Do you still see yourself being a flight attendant? Because I know the time you spend away, like, does that? So this is gonna be a 2-part question. Mm-hmm. Where do you see yourself 4 to 5 years from now? And then, being that you are a flight attendant, do you feel like you lack in any type of social way at all, as far as like meeting people, hanging out, creating relationships, friendships? Do you feel that loss? So 4 to 5 years, social.
Okay, so where I see myself in 4 to 5 years. Now, Peanut, I don't know when this is coming out, but I will tell you that I have recently been promoted. So
Okay.
I have to go back through training, which is going to be a fun time.
Okay.
And then hopefully I'll come out the other side as a purser, which is an international flight lead.
Wow.
So I'll lead the cruise across the ocean. I'm very excited.
Lead the
and
cruise
that's
across the ocean. Hold on.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
So the cruise, it goes, the captain, then the first officer, then the second officer.
Okay.
And then it's the purser or flight lead.
Got it. So you gonna be in charge of the. Ooh, that's some boss stuff right there. Welcome to Boss Talk, baby.
Of the wide body. So I'm very excited to do this undertaking, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to boss up on training. Hopefully, we make it all the way through because everything here is conditional.
Yeah.
But I see myself being able to do it, and I'm really excited about this opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's my outlook for the next 2 years.
That's awesome.
But the next 5 years with my company, it gets better with time. When you start, this job is not the best. It's not ideal. Like you kind of miss everyone's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's, doing things. They're getting married. They're doing that, and you have to be at work.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do about it. You can try to make it happen, but in the end of the day, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
But you have more control as you get more senior.
Okay.
So you may not have, you might have like 15, 16, 17 days off a month, and then you can actually do that. You don't have to work because the pay scale goes up or things like that happen.
Got it.
So I will never quit this job. I tell people that all the time. Wow. People don't go to work at my job sometimes.
What?
Like they'll work 3 days a month. My roommate works 3 days a month.
And still get paid the same?
No, we get paid by hour.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. But, so you can choose to have a different life
outside
while you also have this life.
Yeah. So
that's what I hope to do in the next 3 to 5 years. And like I said, I'm coming back to the South. I'm coming back. That's 2 years. Not 2 year plans. I'm getting back.
Come on. We ready.
But yeah. And the second part of the question is, do you think it affects your personal life? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I did the math 1 month, or I didn't do the math. I just did the counting. I was home only 9 nights the entire month. Not days. By nights, I mean, I get home at 10:30 p.m. and I leave the next day at 11. Only home 9 nights.
Dang.
So, I mean, you think I want to go out to the club?
Yeah. But you
No,
can't.
I'm going to bed.
You going to bed? Yeah, I'm saying you probably do, but you can't. Because it's like, I got to get up in the morning.
Nah, yeah.
Well, that's
so
cool.
It does really affect my social life. And I hope that I can curb that. I've been trying to take more control of that lately. But, it's just a part of it. It's a lifestyle. It's not a job.
It's a lifestyle. I like how you said it. It's a lifestyle, not a job. Man, Sydney, I appreciate you so much. I learned a lot in this in this little 45-minute conversation. I learned a lot, and I think a lot of people will learn just how important. How important your job is. Anybody that's operating a plane, anybody that has a part to do it, even from the ground crew, the people that fuel up, check the planes, like everybody's everybody's role is important, and you gotta have everybody clicking on all cylinders at every trip, every flight, because one misstep is a liability, right? And so I know that your job, you take a lot of pride in it, and like I said, I'm super happy that I was even able to sit down with you and just
to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And we just, hopefully anybody that's watching, you guys can look at Sydney and say, man, she's doing something amazing. Obviously, she told you about some of the cons, but there's a lot of upside to it as well. Obviously, if you're a family-driven person, and I'm not saying she's not family-driven. What I mean, you got to be a certain type of person to
be able to only be home 9 nights. If you miss your family easy, maybe being a flight attendant may not be for you. I don't know. But the way Sydney's life has been going and how she's not at home a lot, that lets me know she probably doesn't see, her family a lot. But obviously you got the phone and you can talk. That's what technology's for. But
exactly.
Just think about that for anybody that wants to be a flight attendant. But I hope you are inspired by Sydney Key to be a flight attendant. Now, Sydney, because we're coming to the end of the show, we need a recommendation of someone I should sit down with next? Somebody that's super dope like yourself, somebody that's probably doing something outside the box. You know, it doesn't even have to be outside the box, but maybe they inspire you, and maybe you just feel like they need to be on the show. I need a recommendation. Who you got?
Well, I've currently been inspired by my best friend. He just got his job. His name is Bradley Brown.
Okay.
And I hope that he's gonna sit down with you and tell you all about it.
Man, I heard so much about Bradley. I would love to.
Yeah?
I would love to sit down with Bradley and pick his brain and see what's going on. So what I'll do is, if you can give me like a warm handoff, right? You can say Bradley, Armand, Peanut, whatever you want to call it. He's gonna hit you up and ask you, you know, if you want to come on the show, and then I'll just sit down with him, see what his availability is like. But just give me a good way to contact him, as far as whether he wants to be contacted through Instagram, telephone, it doesn't matter. Let me know, but then let him know that I'll be reaching out, and then we'll try to get him on the show. All right?
Excellent. I'd love to see it. I can't wait to watch.
Cool. Did you have fun though?
I did have fun. This was nice.
Not too nerve-wracking, right?
Let's keep rocking and rolling.
I guess. I guess when we see it, I'll see it for sure.
Yeah, it'll be nice. But thank you so much. I'm gonna give you the rest of your night back. Be safe.
Okay.
All right. If you ever need anything from the podcast, we got you. All right.
Okay.
See ya.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.
All the bosses listen to Big Boss Talk. The people listening and watching, we love you over here. We're gonna leave the same way we came in. Coming with the coldest podcast you'll ever hear.